Hello students, welcome to Sri Sai Vidya Vikas College having chemistry sessions by this YouTube method of teaching. Hope you are going to get benefited from this mode of teaching and which was unlike in Zoom interactions. So based on your request we have opted for this method of classes which seems to be much efficient than the previous one, right. So now you might be knowing that electrochemistry is a very fundamental chapter in inter second year, and we are going to start with the same by not going through the syllabus. In our syllabus the first chapter might be different, not electrochemistry, but as it is very much important as well as understanding is more in this chapter than by hearting. So we are going by this method, right. Before going for the chapter, let me introduce myself. My name is Hafsa and I am going to teach you chemistry in this year. Hope you will find my way of teaching easy to understand and grasp, right. So now coming to electrochemistry, most of the student feels that electrochemistry is very difficult. If you ask your seniors, they will tell that, oh, electrochemistry, don't touch that chapter, it is very lengthy and difficult. But it will not be difficult if you understand inside the chapter what words you will find. This chapter is very lengthy, but it has only two names throughout it, which is jumbled, shuffled, pasted, copied and all that. It involves only these two things, and that is chemistry means method or way of what? Electrons. Chemistry of electrons. In this chapter you will not study what is protons, what is neutrons or what else, or solutions or solids, nothing. You only have to know how electrons are having chemistry with each other. Chemistry between these two, that too we know, right. The same way in this chapter you will see the chemistry of electrons with each other, right. Behavior. Right, electrons nature or behavior will be involved in electrochemistry. Electrons nature, electrons can be, when every atom has electrons inside it, you can either remove electrons or you can add electrons, right. These two processes you should know very well, you should be perfect in these two things. One is, if you remove electron, what happens to the atom? If you add electron, what happens to the atom? And that should be very much clear to you, right. What is that way? That method in which you will add electrons, that is, if you add electrons to the atom, you call it as reduction. If you remove electrons from the atom, you call it as oxidation. Reduction is addition. Oxidation is removal. You might be knowing the other definitions of reductions as well as oxidations, but that is not relevant in this chapter. What are the other definitions of reduction? Addition of protons, addition of hydrogens and removal of proton is also called as reduction. There are three definitions for reduction. One is addition of electrons, addition of hydrogens and removal of protons. These three are the definitions of reductions, but you should know only one definition for this chapter, that is addition of electrons is reduction. And if you remove electrons, it is called as oxidation. Hydrogens and protons will not come into picture for this chapter, right. So now, before starting electrochemistry, what is reduction and what is oxidation should be on your tips. Unless you are clear with these two definitions, you cannot understand the entire chapter of electrochemistry, right. So now coming back to the basic definition of electrochemistry, loss or gain of electrons will come, and that definition is, because of the reduction and oxidation which takes place, you have energy, some form of energy inside the atom, right. Chemical energy electrical energy. There are other forms of energies also, like heat energy, mechanical energy, kinetic energy, potential energy. That all that energies you don't need to know for this chapter. You need only chemical energy and electrical energy. Till now I have not given you the definition of electrochemistry. What I am giving you are the prerequisites you should know to start electrochemistry. If these prerequisites are clear to you, is on your tips, the entire electrochemistry becomes a cakewalk. Right? Which two energies, which two forms of energy you should know is chemical energy and electrical energy. Chemical energy means inside the atom it has its own energy stored, right? Like how we have our energy stored in the form of glycogen or fat, the same way even atoms have its own energy stored inside it, and that is chemical energy. What is electrical energy? Is it present inside the atom? No, it is present, it is given in the form of electricity externally, right? Electrical energy is only by electrons which can be given from outside, right? If electrons are moving, that energy is called as electrical. Chemical energy means inside the atom some energy is stored, that is chemical energy. These two energies are involved, which you should know very well. You cannot bring some other form of energy here, like potential, kinetic or thermal or mechanical cannot be brought here in the definition, right? So now let us come back to the definition of electrochemistry. Chemistry means chemical energy. Definition: I am breaking this electrochemistry into two smaller names, right? Can you break electrochemistry into three parts? You cannot. You can break down into two possible names only, two possible parts, electro and chemistry. Electro means which energy you have seen, electrical energy, and chemistry means chemical energy, right? So electrochemistry means any material or atom or solid or metal. In the electrochemistry, what you will see are mostly metals, right? If a metal or any solid substance is using its chemical energy by performing some reactions, right? If you perform some reactions, they might have some chemical energy, that then only they are performing some chemical reactions. If they don't have any chemical energy, are they able to perform some reactions? No. If chemical energy already present inside the atom is used to undergo some reactions, what are those two reactions? There are only two reactions which take place in the entire electrochemistry. Apart from these two reactions, you will not have any other reaction. Those two reactions are oxidation and reduction. If an atom or a solid is using its own chemical energy, like I am using my stored energy to do some work, same way metal also uses its stored energy to do some reaction. Reaction can be oxidation, reaction can be reduction, right? After undergoing the reaction, what happens is the stored energy will be converted into the other energy, that is electrical energy, right? If chemical reactions take place automatically by itself, you are not doing anything. If chemical reactions are automatically taking by its own, the chemical energy will be converted into electrical energy and it comes out. You can see, right? And that is spontaneous reaction. Are you starting the reaction? No, you are not starting the reaction. Suppose I will take an example of a remote of television sets. The moment you fit the battery, it starts working, or you have to supply electricity? No, it starts working by its own. If the fitting of the battery is correct, the battery starts working. You don't have to supply electricity every time you press the button, right? It is working by its own. That is called as spontaneous reaction, right? By starting the reaction spontaneously by its own, what will the remote do? It starts working, right? That means chemical energy was there inside, and it gets converted into electrical energy and the remote works, right. So, which conversion was taking place in that remote? Chemical energy present inside already is getting converted into electrical energy. Now, I will take the help of another example, which is a television set or a desktop which cannot start unless you start the device. What will you do? You will supply the energy in the form of power or electricity. Which energy is it? It is electrical energy only. If you are supplying electricity, that means you are giving which energy? Electrical energy. If you do not give electrical energy, will the television start by itself? No, it will not start. That means if you give electrical energy, then only some reactions happen in the television, then only that energy will be converted into chemical energy. If you do not give electrical energy, can the television start by itself? Can the desktop start by itself? No. Desktop, I am using the word here, I am not using laptop, because laptop already has a battery inside it. Desktop or television set cannot start by itself unless you give electrical energy. So, if you give this energy, which energy comes out? Chemical energy. Chemical energy means chemical reaction takes place and the device works. On the screen you can see how it is working, right. If you do not give any energy, the energy which is already present inside it will be used and electrical energy comes out. If you give electrical energy, the other energy which is chemical energy will come out, right. So, electrochemistry definition is interconversion of chemical energy into electrical energy and electrical energy into chemical energy. There is no possibility of only one conversion. Electrochemistry means both the energies are involved. If one is there, it gets converted into the other. If one is not there, you have to give and you will get the other, right. So, example of this conversion, chemical energy into electrical energy, is remote, right. This conversion takes place spontaneously or non-spontaneously. It takes place spontaneously. Spontaneously means by itself. If the reaction is spontaneous, that means stored energy which is chemical gets converted into electrical, and that is called as one part of the definition. And the other example is television set. Is it already having its own energy stored? No, it cannot store its own energy. Can it store? No. If you do not give energy, it cannot start. So, which energy you have to give? Can you give chemical energy to the television set? You cannot give. You have to give electrical energy only. So, by its own means spontaneous. Is it spontaneous in this case? No, it is non-spontaneous. Spontaneous, right. If someone gives the answer within a minute, instantly or spontaneously, we say how spontaneous or how instant or how effective he is answering, right. In that case, you will have an example of remote which works spontaneously by itself. Whereas the other example, which is television set, it cannot start by its own, you have to start, and that means it is non-spontaneous. Spontaneous reaction is taking place, means the reaction is from this side to this side. Non-spontaneous reaction is taking place, means the reaction is from this side to this side. Whichever reaction it is there, chemical to electrical reaction or electrical to chemical reaction, what is the possibility? Either oxidation can take place or reduction can take place. What is oxidation? Removal of electrons from the metal. Mostly metal, therefore I will give the definition as metal only. Removal of electrons from the metal is called as oxidation. What is the definition of reduction? That is addition of electrons to the metal is called as reduction, right. So, now these are the flow charts of electrochemistry. fundamentals or prerequisites and then coming to the definition. Interconversion. When you say interconversion, both possibility exist. Interconversion of chemical energy and electrical energy is called as electrochemistry. Interconversion can be from chemical to electrical, interconversion can be from electrical to chemical. Please copy down this flow chart and write the definition in the end, which is interconversion of chemical and electrical energy is called as electrochemistry. So now based on that definitions of interconversions of chemical energy and electrical energy, you will have a device or a setup, and that is called as electrochemical cell. A device or a setup in which electrical energies and chemical energies are interconverted, means whatever definition you have studied will be shown in the demonstration of a cell, and the name of that cell is called as electrochemical cell, right. That electrochemical cell is nothing but a device in which you will have two plates of metal or a metal rod, right. A metal rod which is present on one side and the other side. Two metal rods are present inside it, and that are called as electrodes. Called as electrodes. What are the names of those two electrodes? One is anode and the other is cathode. Which one can be anode, which one can be a cathode? You cannot tell anyone to be anode or cathode. In the setup, what is present on the left hand side, this electrode is present on the left hand side, should be anode. The electrode which is present on the left, in the total setup, which electrode is present on the left hand side is this, right. So this electrode is called as anode, and what is present on the right hand side of the setup is called as cathode, right. Left hand side of the setup is called as anode, right hand side of the setup is called as cathode. If they gave an electrochemical cell in the exam and just ask you, is the diagram correct, and the diagram might have cathode on the left and anode on the right, or something else will be there, its charges won't be correct. You have to specifically see anode should be always on the left side, cathode should always be on the right side. So now by seeing this diagram itself, you might have understood what will be the charge of anode, what will be the charge of cathode. What will be the charge of anode is negative, and what will be the charge of cathode is positive, right. Negative charge on anode and positive charge will be there on cathode, right. These two electrodes are present inside the cell and they are dipped or immersed in a solution into its own solutions. They don't have a common solution. this electrode is dipped into its own solution and this electrode is dipped into its own solution. Right? The anode is dipped into a solution of its own ion. Suppose if I take zinc as anode electrode, zinc is taken as anode electrode, right? What is the symbol of zinc? What will be its own ion? What will be the ion of zinc? Zn plus 2 will be the ion, right? You have to make you have to take a solution of that salt in which Zn plus 2 will be there. What is that salt? Zinc chloride, zinc sulfate, zinc nitrate, any salt having zinc ion. So, now let me take ZnSO4 or zinc sulfate. So, now anode is dipped or immersed into a solution of its own ion, where on the left side of the setup. The same goes for cathode, which is suppose it's not necessary that zinc should always be anode and it's not even necessary that copper should always be cathode. I am taking an example of zinc and copper. You can take any combinations of the metals which can act as anode and cathode, right? Suppose copper is taken as cathode here. What will be the solution for this electrode? For cathode, the solution can be copper sulfate, copper nitrate, copper chloride, any salt in which copper ion should be there. Copper is dipped into a solution of its own ion. Its own ion is copper plus 2, that should be there. Sulfate, nitrate, chloride or anything, but copper should be there in the solution as well, right? So, zinc is dipped into a solution of its own ion, copper should be dipped into a solution of its own ion, right? So, what is that zinc sulfate and copper sulfate called as? They are called as salt solutions, are called as electrolyte. Right? They are called as electrolyte, right? You will not have two electrolytes same. Electrolyte for anode is different and electrolyte for cathode is different. Right? This is salt solution called as, in this setup salt solution is called as electrolyte, metal rods are called as electrodes, right? These two are the parts of electrochemical cell, and is there any connection between these two cells? Yes, through an external wire, right? There is one more connection between these tubes, that is through a U-shaped tube. There is a U-shaped tube which is connecting both the half cells. One beaker is called as one half cell, other beaker is called as other half cell. Two beakers are together called as one cell. So, what you can say, this is one half cell and the other is another half cell, right? So, these two half cells are connected internally. Is it internally or not? External connection is by a wire, and internal connection is by a U-shaped tube. The name of that U-shaped tube is salt bridge. Salt bridge. It is a bridge between the two half cells, right? So, inside that tube you should take some solution. That solution is nothing but saturated KCl and agar-agar gel. These two things together should be filled inside the salt bridge, right? It is an internal connection. Now this half cell is one and the other half cell is there are two half cells, right? Now coming to the reactions of anode. Why anode is negative, why cathode is positive, why not, why did you not keep negative here is the electrode which is present on the left side undergoes oxidation reactions, Who is present on the left side? Anode. So whichever reaction is present on the left side of any electrochemical cell will always undergo which reaction? Oxidation. Be it zinc, copper, platinum, mercury or any metal or hydrogen for that matter, whoever is present on the left side will undergo only oxidation reaction. And who comes on the right side is cathode. If anode undergoes oxidation, cathode should undergo the other reaction, which is reduction. Now let me ask the same question. During the entire lessons of electrochemistry, after a minute or two, I will be asking you what is oxidation, what is reduction. And oxidation is loss of electrons, reduction is gain of electron, right? Oxidation means loss of electrons and reduction means gain of electrons, right? These are two electrodes, anode undergoing loss of electrons, cathode undergoing gain of electrons. Suppose if there is a metal, suppose this is the zinc rod or any rod which is anode, right? If it starts losing electron, oxidation means losing electrons, right? If this duster is a metal rod, it starts losing electrons, the total duster having so many atoms will be full of electrons which is lost, right? It is filled with electrons which got lost by small atoms, right? Is it rich in electrons or not? The duster is having so many electrons which got oxidized. So it is filled with electrons. What is the charge of the electron? Negative. So this electrode is having many electrons. It is rich in electrons. Therefore, the charge of the anode is negative, because it is undergoing loss of electrons. There are so many electrons lost, right? Cathode is not having electrons, it is deficient in electrons. Therefore, what will be the charge? If electrons are deficient, what is the charge of the electron? Negative. Opposite of that charge, deficiency of negative is positive. Therefore, cathode is having positively charged nature, right? So now anode is having negative charge and cathode is having positive charge. We told that anode loses electron, and the electrons which are lost, where will they go? Whatever electrons anode lost, will they come to the solution? No, it travels through this wire and goes to the other half cell which is called as cathode. Whatever electrons anode lost will be going to cathode, right? So now electrons move from anode to cathode. What is the movement of electron? Movement of electrons. Can electrons move from cathode to anode? No, as cathode itself don't have any electrons. How can it give electron to the other? Cathode is deficient. What will it do? It accepts. Who is ready to donate here? Anode. So anode is giving the electron, so its movement is from anode to cathode, or you can also say from left to right. Right? If the movement of electrons or electricity moves from anode to cathode, what will be the direction of the current? Direction of electrons is from anode to cathode. What will be the direction of current? Current always flows in the opposite direction. So, movement of current is opposite. What is the opposite direction? Cathode to anode, or right to left. Please take a screenshot of this demonstration and we will continue further.